of Haven Learning Center. And just here are my details. And I will be presenting today with my partner, Margarita, who will later on introduce herself. She is also an educator and she is in Berlin right now. She is the founder of EduHaber. So we can go right through into the meeting. Just as house keeping, if you would want, if your background is not noisy, you could kindly leave your audio on. But if your background, if you're expecting any visitors or you have children around, kindly mute yourself. And it would be great if your video is on as well. All right, so we can get to see each other and interact. Okay, so just to give you a little background of what this meeting is all about, I am going to play a short clip and I hope you are able to hear it. Can you hear it? Yeah. Okay, let me try again because somebody said they cannot hear it. So welcome everyone to the Global Competence Project. My mandate today will just be to talk to you about personal development as a teacher. So what we're saying today is there are two parts. I will talk about the personal development for a teacher in the 21st century, and my partner Margarita will go on to explain about the SDG games and how we can go about them. Right, so there is need for teachers to personally develop themselves, especially in the era that we are living in. We all know about the COVID-19 and how much impact it has had on all professions. So we are saying it is now more than ever enough time for us to upgrade our skills into a digital skills. By this, we are going to be talking about digital skills, the need for digital skills for a teacher. Many times when we talk about digital skills, most people think that it refers to people in marketing or any other profession. But we're saying now is the time for teachers and educators or anyone in any profession to develop a digital profile. So my job today is going to be talking about what a digital profile is and what the link is to the Global Competence Project. So what is a digital profile? Basically, by digital profile, we're simply saying, instead of our usual CV, our normal traditional resume, we need to develop the idea of putting our resume on online. So the need for us doing that is we are able to market ourselves more, because right now we are in a transition of taking classrooms from the traditional classroom setup onto online teaching. So how best can we make that transition, and how best can people know about us and give us jobs? Because most people are in the process of not even being employed right now. So we're saying, as a teacher, you are already an action researcher. You conduct action research in your classrooms, but it is what you do that people don't know. So how best do we move from this? We want us to be known out there. We want people to know our skills and to know what we are doing in our classrooms. So we're saying, now is the time for us to be using our social platforms, be it your Facebook, be it your YouTube channels, LinkedIn. You have to take advantage of that, because this is where most employers are lingering around looking for the next person to employ. So why is there a need for us to have a digital profile? Like I said, professional teaching portfolios can give you an edge in the competitive job market. You're not just going to say, hey, this is my CV, I am a teacher, but people need to see proof of what you've done before for them to trust you and to hire you. So simply, like when you're looking for a job, you simply send a link to the viewers, and they discusses the contents, and then they discuss with you the contents of what you've done, be it on phone or through a web meeting, whatever the case may be. So we're going to go through a checklist of how best you could start this journey of maintaining a portfolio. So like any other project that you embark on, you must have a strategy, you must have a plan. So we're going to get into details of what this plan could look like. Right. For whatever social media platform, keep a list of your work samples. How do you get your work samples? When you get your kids to do an activity in class, take photos, take short videos. These would be your work samples, and keep them ready and handy for skills competence. Analyze your audience. You might keep your portfolio for different reasons. It could be for job seeking, or it could be for your career advancement. You want to go to the next level. You don't want to be stuck into the classroom. You want to become a consultant, but people would only trust you after you have shown them something. So each and every portfolio that you're going to come up with, your digital portfolio, there is need for you to analyze your audience, because they will determine what goes into your digital portfolio. So what artifacts, qualities, ideas, and tone would they be looking for? Before you start, you try to think about your audience. What are they looking for? What is it that they want from you to exhibit? This is what you will then put in your digital portfolio. The next point will be, you need to assess your portfolio goals and requirements and standards as well. Are you documenting a single project or the entire body of your work? What exactly do you want to put into that digital portfolio? What purpose will the collection serve? So there are different purposes for keeping a digital portfolio, but once you make that clarity in the beginning, this will allow you to prioritize what comes into your portfolio. Right. So here we'll kind of go through a list of what it is that you could include in your digital portfolio. Like I said, this is where you put your resume, your cover letter, a list of your references, your classroom plan management, examples of lesson plans that you would have conducted or that you intend to use. You put all your details of any projects that you could be working on, as well as copies of students' work that you have done with the students. So basically what we're saying, instead of keeping a hard portfolio like this teaching portfolio, this would be digital. So the next question people would ask is, so where do I begin? So here I'm going to take us through some suggested links where we could start. These include Google Sites. This is just an online service that allows you to create your own website. It makes it accessible to relatively inexperienced teachers like me. You could publish content live on the web quickly and easily. So this is just one. And here are some more. You could use your LinkedIn. You could use Wix.com. Your Facebook account works very well for that, as well as your YouTube channel. All these are perfect examples where you could begin to showcase your work and begin to make yourself known out there. So this is just an example. This is me, and this was one of my first blogs that I developed on Wix. It's like an online web development platform. Unlike Google, it uses templates. So you're going to find already made templates and has powerful editor that offers extensive functionality. So on here, you could come and kind of like reflect on your work and write what would have happened in your classrooms or any projects that you're working on, and go through it as a reflection of some sort. This really helps you to connect with like-minded people who are also, interested in what you're doing, or you never know, your potential employer, where the next person that you're going to get into business is with. So, and then also here, this is Sally. She's one of the teachers that we work with. She's in Zimbabwe right now. So she used her YouTube channel to make videos for kids during this COVID-19 period. What she did was she started recording classes. Not everybody has access to online learning. So she took up the initiative where she started recording grade 7 classes. So you can see this is like a Zimbabwean examination, public examination, ZIMSEC grade 7 paper. So she often does this like on a weekly basis, or maybe after every 2 weeks, and she uploads it on our YouTube channel, which is really benefiting a lot of kids who do not have money right now to engage extra classes online. So now we get to the point where we discuss the link with this global competence project. Why was I talking about all this? Right. So for the global competence project, Margarita is going to explain the details, but the monitoring and evaluation part will be done through our digital profiles. We are encouraging teachers to start building their digital profiles and report their activities that they're going to be doing with their children on their digital profiles. If for any reason some are not able to start the digital profiles, they can actually use our workbooks. We have developed a workbook that we could be using for this particular project. This is an example of the workbook that we are going to be getting for those who are not able to start working on their digital profiles. So they would be putting all the information about their projects in this creative reflection book. This would really help us to see how far we have gone on the project and how we can move forward from there. Okay, so just like a quick reminder, as we are doing these projects, as we are sharing on our artifacts, we need to keep in mind the British Educational Research Association. Like I indicated before, we are action researchers and we do our work based on ethical principles. So we need to follow the guidelines that have been stipulated for us. For an example, we shouldn't take photos of kids without their voluntary informed consent. We should make sure we get the full consent of the parents or whoever is going to be part of our projects before we publish the information outside. So this is just like a tip on how best we can go about this project and how we can constantly be mindful of the ethical principles. Okay, so for now, I will be handing over to Margarita for 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 her to explain to us about the actual games and how they are played. But if anyone has a question pertaining to the digital profiling that I've been talking about, we could kindly unmute ourselves and have a chat. Anyone?
Maybe also if we have questions later, you can type in the group chat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if the audio is not working very well, maybe or the microphone.
Okay.
And Chisha, sorry to interrupt your questions. The question sessions, there is a message from Ben.
Yes.
Saying that he is not following with the audio, only the video.
Oh.
So
okay.
I'm gonna write to him that he needs to check
the settings.
Speakers.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Any questions before I hand over to Margarita?
Yes, sure.
Yes, please go ahead.
I wanted clarity. Are we going to get you were talking about the principles or the guidelines we are going to get with relevance to BERA?
I do have a copy of BERA and I don't mind sharing it with you. It's just a book where it has guidelines of what you need to do as a teacher who's conducting a research. That is no problem. I can share it with you, ma'am.
Thank you.
No worries. Any other questions? Okay, so I'm going to hand over to Margarita right now for her to take us through her part. Margarita, the floor is yours.
Okay, hello everybody. Once again, very happy to see you all for the first time. Hopefully not the last time. And yeah, please keep on writing in the chat if for any reason you cannot speak up. And let me try to share my screen first. But before I do that, actually, to follow up with what Tisha was sharing, digital, as a lot of people are very comfortable or settled with the jobs, teaching jobs, you don't necessarily need to look for a job, but you might want to become a part of some kind of initiatives, certification programs, you know, communities. So to do that, usually you need to apply with your work examples. And nowadays, there is no other way for the committee who is reviewing your application to actually understand what kind of work you've been doing, rather than just look at your digital profile. This is why it's very important. And I've been a part of some committees, reviewing committees, and it's really a pity when you can see a great description from an educator, but there is no any backup link. So we cannot really prove that the teacher has all that experience. So even if you have something, on Google Drive, if you have access to Google. Maybe you can find some other easier platform like Wix, I think is a great platform, or there is also Weebly. You were already requesting the links. So Cleopatra, I think, was writing, so we'll send them to you later. But those are really easy to set up websites. You don't have to learn about websites. It's just there. You drag and drop and type. I think personally, it's easier than setting up your Facebook page because then you have to follow up with Facebook page. There are comments. But if you just have your own page, like a website, then you can just share it with everybody. One more platform that I wanted to share with you is, let me share my screen and see if I can show to you directly. One second, opening. Okay, should be working now. Yes, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, great. So now you can see Chisha's Facebook page. By the way, it's still not going live. I cannot see the live video.
Oh, the network let us down. Next time.
Yeah, it seems. Yeah. Well, we have the recording. So as you can see, I have it even saved in my panel. It's the website called about.me. This is really one of the simplest ways for you to put all your information together. And again, you can review it later with the links. I have my page here, I have the name, and I have all my information, like an introduction. And this page, why it's so useful is because I can send it to anyone to learn about my work. So people can visit my website directly from this page. They can also visit my Facebook page, my YouTube page, if I have it, Instagram. This is also the website, or you can just add some links. This can be one uniting point for you, or at least if you have the without anything else, this will already be good. So this is there are a few platforms like this. Maybe Chisha, you know some others, maybe even from African countries, because I'm sure there are a lot of developers who create something like this. This is just the one I came across, and it was very suitable for what I was looking for. All right, so let's get started with the global competence training. First of all, first things first, if you have any questions, just jump in. And we don't have a lot of people here, so I would encourage us to have some kind of a more live discussion. So if you have any question on the way, I'll give you a lot of information, so it might be a bit overwhelming. Just jump in and ask, or Chisha, you can help me to monitor if there is anyone in the chat asking questions. And what is global competence? To start with, I want to ask you, first of all, I want to ask all of you this question. Please unmute yourself